Grand Rising family, Retta's Recovery Reminders. Ratchet's right here with me. It is April 7th, okay, and it's the day before the eclipse. Okay, I know there's a lot of fear in the air out in the world. Um, and I just want everybody to just know that as long as you're breathing, as long as you can stay focused on the now, and as long as, you're able to take a breath, that you're fine, you're safe. Okay, we need to work together to build the new earth in love and compassion, forgiveness for one another, and especially for ourselves. When we give ourselves, listen, I got this new book called Freedom from the Human Condition. It's like really huge, and I've only read a couple pages, so just give me some time. But I really, it says that the end of the human condition, at last, the redeeming, reconciling, and rehabilitating biological explanation of the human condition that brings about the dreamed of dawn of understanding and ends all suffering and conflict on earth. I am really excited to read this. But I think what it is we have misunderstood the biblical narrative. And I think that the fall was one from our hearts to our logic mind in our head. Like we went from the matriarchal, caring, kind, compassionate, feminine, telepathy and like the psychic, all the feminine powers, that we have were burned and labeled as bad and basically stomped out in all of us because we were told that wasn't real. That's, and that's what I really believe was the fall, was from our heart-centered way of seeing the world to the more logical, mind-centered believing what we see, basically, instead of going by how it feels. But I don't know because I haven't read the book, so I will let you know. But basically, that's what I believe the fall was. We went from our heart to our head, the logic mind. And what this awakening is us getting back into our heart and mind balance. This is all about balance. At least it has been for me. My awakening has been about balancing all my crazy runaway emotions, looking into why I felt the way I did, learning, recovery, not just from addiction, but from my way of thinking about myself and the world, really. And that's the truth. Are you? I want you to be in the video. Okay, so let's go. April 7th. Okay, I'm willing to acknowledge. It is safe for me to acknowledge and honor my feelings. This is so very important. We stuff a lot of feelings down, especially when we come from traumatic backgrounds and, broken families, unloving families. I didn't really have abuse when I was young, but I had a lot of neglect. I felt like I was not important to my parents. And now I know that they were just living their lives and didn't, couldn't deal with everything, which is why I work so hard to make sure that Elijah and Xavier know that it was, from me not knowing how to love myself. It wasn't any, unlove for my children that, separated me from them. It was because I didn't know how to love myself and I didn't know what was best for me. But I really did. I just was living in a state of confusion. And when we come from trauma, especially when that trauma is triggered, you know, we kind of can live in that confusion, and it's not beneficial for any of us. We have to have a balance, a place we can feel safe to actually express ourselves and our emotion without somebody belittling us or making us feel like it's not normal to have grief, um, sadness, to miss my child. Anyway, I'm willing to acknowledge, it's safe for me to acknowledge and honor my feelings. Sorry, I get sidetracked. It is standard operating procedure among human beings to act as if everything is all right all the time, no matter how sick, sad, upset, frightened, or confused we may be. If someone asks, "How are you?" the standard response is fine. Nothing destroys self-worth, self-acceptance, and self-love faster than denying what you feel. We humans need to realize that whatever we feel is just fine, and that we are just fine no matter what we feel. Without feelings, you would not know where you are in life, nor would you know what areas you need to work on. When something doesn't feel right, you are motivated to change. Feelings keep you alive. They invigorate and educate. Feelings are like hound dogs. They sniff out what you are hunting down. This means that your feelings are inspirational and motivational. When you deny what you feel, you are not grounded. You let your guard down, sometimes to your own detriment. How true is that? It is true that your feelings can deceive you, for you can feel good in a bad situation, and you can feel bad in a good situation. This is what happens when you stifle your feelings. You cannot tell one from the other. True. Feelings are sensors. When you learn to keep the channels clear with the full expression of your feelings, your emotional essence develops and matures. It is also true that you do not want to be a slave to your feelings. That used to be me. Feelings that go up and down like a roller coaster are often the result of a physical or chemical imbalance in the body. The key to the development of healthy and emotional essence is to acknowledge what you feel. Until today, you may not have been honoring your feelings. You may have been afraid, unclear, or unsure as to what to do about what you feel. Just for today, be devoted to honoring your feelings. Allow yourself to feel them. Admit to yourself what you feel. And if you really want to give yourself an opportunity to grow and heal, admit exactly what you are feeling to one other living person. Today, I'm devoted to honoring what I feel until I feel better. That is so good, and it's so true. When we are able to actually open up and talk to somebody about how we feel and not have somebody make fun of our feelings or make us feel like we're different or wrong for feeling like that, which happened a lot in my previous relationship to me. it's hard. And I'm learning that I'm okay just the way I am. My feelings are okay just the way they are. I have them for a reason. I take them to my journal a lot now and I write them down to get them out of me. I express them. This way is a wonderful way that I have um, grown, taught myself, learn. I don't even know what I'm doing actually, but just sharing what I have learned about changing myself, what I thought was myself, the way I saw myself and the way I saw the world, and sharing that with whoever, finds this and can relate, and is on that same frequency that I'm on, that healing, positive, love, compassionate, like giving vibe, that we just need to have more of in this world. We're here to build a new earth of kindness and compassion, and it goes above and beyond religion and skin color. No matter what you've been through in the past, we are all more alike than we are different. And when we can actually accept ourselves first and foremost, and then other people as we are, and know that you are worthy of being here and you are meant to be here, and we all have a place. Like my previous relationship made me feel like I wasn't worthy to be here a lot. And I was like, that doesn't feel right. Like, why is he trying to make me feel like that? That's not right. But in that, it was like I realized I felt like that, because if I didn't feel like that, he wouldn't have been able to trigger that inside of me. So I had to look at what the feeling was inside of me that made me feel less than or not worthy of the same love that I give to everyone else. And I realized I really am, and I'm worthy of everything that I give, and I have to let go of the things that are not serving me, and my greatest good and the greatest good of the world. Because when I was in that relationship, I was always like looking down at, like, wondering of what I was doing wrong, instead of, looking at all the things I'm doing right and sharing them with, you guys, to hopefully allow you to realize that you have the power within you to change the way you see the world. And that in turn changes everything about your world and you. It's all within your mind, your heart, in alignment with each other. And spiritual practice is the one thing that I was missing my whole life, because I was looking for it in books, and now I get it from nature and from seeking my spirit, praying, for guidance from my guides. And I get answers. Like, it just comes to me, the next day, or it just does. The way the world works is amazing. And I really love my life today, now that I live in, reality, and I know that my energy is what creates my world. It's a lot better place now that my vibe is, higher. And as we know now, authenticity is the highest vibe. And see, I've always had that. That's why I've always had something. I just didn't know what it was. And, luckily now I realize that by being me, my whole me, who I want to be in all my glory, and living in that truth, just living that, raises your frequency, and it allows the universe to start working with you. And I mean, I don't know. My life is just amazing now. I wish I could explain, but it was through the inner work, doing the inner work to align my heart and mind, knowing that those were thoughts that I got from childhood and they weren't real. And, I was lovable and kind and loving and caring and compassionate. And, just because somebody told me that, he used to gaslight me so bad. He would tell me that people didn't like me and like, that's why people don't like you. And I was like, what? What? Why don't people like me? I was so gullible for so long. I really was, because I was caught up in my emotions. I let my emotions run me. And today I don't do that. I know who I am and where I stand today and what I do. And I am quite consistent with it on a daily, monthly, yearly basis. And that's what matters. When we look for a good relationship, we look for consistency. And that's what I will do the next time. But I'm not even looking for a relationship. I'm still working on making sure that everything within me is scrubbed clean and in alignment with my greatest good, so I can step into living my highest self, my greatest life, and more will be revealed. I really want to do that Praxis Alethea thing, but it's $15,000. I don't really have that yet, but more will be revealed. More will be revealed. If anyone wants to donate, the Cash App is $ Retta N, capital N, Ratchet. I think it's on the channel somewhere, but that's what I think I'm focusing on. I put it out on my private Facebook channel, which is just my family and friends. But it's like, if I start focusing on that, and I think I can manifest it into my life. And I think if I could start working towards it, I've been working, on doing some positive things. I might be able to even get some like funding help, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. More will be revealed as I continue to live my best life and do this to try to give back and meet wonderful, loving, kind, compassionate people like you guys who actually motivate me to continue to do this. Because for a long time I was really afraid to be seen. I hid myself. I didn't want people to look at me, and it just didn't feel good. And now I'm like, I don't care if you don't like me, that's okay, because I know the right people will love me. And I know that we're magnetic beings. And that's why we can repel certain people and attract others. And when we live in that authenticity, the right people will be drawn into our life. It shouldn't be a really big effort to have, a partnership. And if it is, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because no relationship is ever easy. And there's always going to be ups and downs in every life. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's all freaking roses. I know that there is negativity. But the thing is, you are aware that there will be negative, nasty Nellies out there, but you hope for the best and you're prepared for the best, and you deal with it in your positive, kind, compassionate way when things like that come up. You don't allow it to knock you off your pedestal and where you're going, because it's your karma. The way you treat people is your own karma. And that goes for every single reaction, no matter what buttons they're pressing to trigger inside of you. They're, actually causing a reaction from the energy inside of you. And it's that energy that we're trying to get to. So when somebody actually triggers you, it's a wonderful opportunity to get into that emotion and actually take a minute to step back and actually feel it. Okay, where is that coming from? Why am I being triggered from this? And what can I do to, like wrap it up and release it, let it go into, your earth chakra, and release, transmute it into the positivity. And once you release it, it can no longer affect your today. And that's what we're going for. We acknowledge that the nasty, negative, traumatic things happened, and we understand that people might have done things in their unconscious, unaware state that made us feel a certain type of way, but that in no way, shape, or form has any reflection on who we are as a person. And we have to let that go and move on and live in love, kindness, and compassionate caring for community. And that's the way I'm living my life today. And I have to tell you, I've never been happier. I look for ways to give